Hi everyone, my name is Scott McGill, and the topic of today's session is going to be pentatonic playing, and I'd like to discuss using different rhythmic groupings with pentatonic playing, and this is something that I first heard from the works of John McLaughlin, and even before him there were many practitioners playing like this and using pentatonic type vocabulary, but using different rhythmic groupings. Obviously, John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, a bit later, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, all these great artists. So as guitarists, we probably first encountered it with McLaughlin, and the more, I guess, more modern or more current players that use this sort of approach are Eric Johnson and Sean Lane and people like that. But I want to focus on the things that we already know about pentatonic scales, and then sort of tease out the different rhythmic groupings from there. So starting again with something we know, something we're very familiar with, and then we can expand from there. So that's the idea for today. And I'm just going to revise or go through the 5 basic pentatonic scale positions that I'm sure you're familiar with. If not, it's a good opportunity to learn them. So as we go, you can just continue to go back, revise, and add, that sort of thing, okay? So we'll start with the easiest stuff, and that's, of course, this one right at the 12th fret. The scale is E, G, A, B, D, and then it repeats, okay? So E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G. So most of us are familiar with that one. The next one, of course, we rotate it, so we take E, and we start on G. We're doing them all 2 per string. So the same notes, but in a different fingering, starting on G. G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A. We can play it down here as well. And then at the 5th position, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B. And then at the 7th position, we start on B. B, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D. And then starting on D finally, the last tone, D, E, G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, and then D and E. Okay, so those are the 5 positions covered. What we're going to do to talk about this sort of vocabulary and how players in the past and even present, and how you can expand on it, how it's done, or how the basics of it are accomplished, is by simply taking them in 2-string groups. So for instance, we take from this scale, we go backwards. I'll start with A, G, E, D. That's a common pattern, obviously. In the picking hand, I'm using an upstroke. I usually use an up, so you can use a down if you're better inclined playing it like that. That's great. I'll be using the upstroke most of the time, though, and describing it from those terms. So just turn it around if that's more comfortable for you. So watch this. A, G, E, D. And those are groups of 4, right? Basic 4 notes. We're going to add one more. We're going to add it on this string, so we're going to add a B. So we're going to keep the beats even, but we're going to cross accent. So I'm using a consecutive pick stroke on the 5 so that I can keep the same one. So I'll use up, down, and then up, down, up, down. I find it gives it like a rhythmic snap I like. You know what I mean? can hear it kind of gives it a, you can kind of dig in. And of course with McLaughlin, you've got these bends. So getting used to doing them kind of rapid fire like that. That's really what that's about. Jerry Goodman and Jan Hammer and McLaughlin and Mahavishnu would sort of play with those sort of rapid fire punctuation sort of ideas. Now the idea here is to bring them across all your positions, not just here. So you can do them in the position and add that idea to any one of these. And so I'm just adding another scale tone above each one. And then, so that's it. And of course we can ascend. Okay, that's the first position. Now watch, I'll go down this way. This is a great opportunity right here in this one. So I usually use the second finger to get the stretch. I find the third finger impractical. So I mean, it's great when you're doing it right here. That's wonderful, but I find if I need to grab an upper note, I can't do it. I find the pinky and the ring finger to be odd. So whichever way, I'm just going to do it with the second. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down. And you can start with a downstroke to get rolling. Sometimes I do that. Like down, up, down, and then up, down, up, down. And then this one. And you can, sometimes I'll use the pinky there, right? And then, so you reached up and got that. So I'm just reaching up and grabbing the next note in this scale. And I'm staying strictly E pentatonic for now, minor. And then we go to the next position, do the same thing, right? Sometimes I find it easy to kind of shift instead of doing that. I find that tiring. I can't play that. So I'm going to do it 1, 3, 1, 4 usually. That way I don't have to repeat fingers. I find that when I repeat fingers, I tire them, especially the pinky. So then, okay, and then yep. And the same thing for the remaining positions. You'll do the same thing, so that's a nice one. And again, trying to build up the speed, but also don't be afraid to just play fast, slop it all up, and then try to clean it up too, okay? If you need to use legatos, great. It would probably sound really good with that, okay? This is a bit stretchy down. A lot of times I won't do the stretch, I'll kind of shift. Yeah. And then, so this will be, don't forget to get the vibrot. Oops, sorry. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here, this is a good one. And then, and again, don't be afraid. If this is too reachy to get D, E, and G on the strings, just shift. That's okay. That way you can get the big intervallic leaps without having to do this business like this. Just bring your hand out a little. See me? Make it easy on yourself. Doesn't have to be this. It can be that, but trying to keep it really percussive, trying to keep the approach percussive. And then the same thing down here, of course. You know, that's a big leap there. Right, so that's how that's going to go, and you get your McLaughlin chord in at the end there. Okay, so that's all 5 of them, and again, 4 and then 5 is really what we're going to be dealing with. You can do 6 too, so you can go. You know, some people repeat. You know, punctuating with bends. Again, try to do the consecutive picking. I like the idea of rest stroking against the next one to kind of accent the note. I love the accents. I just think that's a great sound. It sounds great on acoustic too, and I think that's why McLaughlin innately kind of worked in that direction. He found he could get really great accents, really, really well-placed rhythmic playing with a lot of speed. Okay, so here what we'll do is look at them all across now, and I want you to kind of now, at this point, now that you've got those little bits of information, I kind of want you to go up and down the guitar this way. So this way is cool, you know. You know, you can go that way, which is good. You know, do those. That's good, but try to go this way now. I'll show you what I mean. Even if you're just taking, I'll just do the D and G string because we started out with those, okay? So watch this. I'll just do the... I'm just trying to rhythmicize those as well. You can even do triplets. Get it to groove. Right? Okay, so you can see how now you're sort of going through all your positions. You notice it's almost like you're stopping at each one temporarily and then just moving through. Now, I just stayed on predominantly the D and the G string, but obviously the sky's the limit. You don't have to stay there. You can do long lines that sort of traverse all of them. You know, like you could start... You know, some... Right? So that went all the way down. Now moving to these two, you know, top 2 strings, middle ones. Now I'm on the D and G. Now I'm on the G and A. The A to E, and likewise they can go up. Remember, for the ascending patterns you can start with, so if you want to do a little legato or pick all of them, whatever, you know, same business, only going the opposite way. Okay, I think the main thing though is to kind of punctuate the rhythm even at moderate medium tempos. I think that's just a great sound. For instance, I've got a backing track that's sort of a pseudo Mahavishnu kind of backing track. I forget the name of this tune. If somebody could post it, that would be great. It escapes me right now, but the tune's good and you're familiar with it, I'm sure, if you're into John McLaughlin or if you're into fusion. So I'll do it kind of slowly, and I'll do exactly the sort of ideas that we were just talking about. Crunch here. So you can hear. Pardon that one F natural in there. I caught it while I was playing, so forgive that. I think it was right there. Okay, so forget I played that. But you can hear how the fast stuff works, but also how it can work in a slower context with the bends. I think the bends really help sort of set the phrases off and give you a nice pause, give the listener a nice bit of articulation and rhythmic variety. Okay, so the next thing, after we do those sort of pentatonic moves, we can also apply that kind of thinking to a regular scale. It doesn't have to be a pentatonic scale, but it could be, for instance, this one's Dorian. If I play it, you can hear that it's a Dorian. I'll just play a straight E Dorian for you. So you can hear it. It's a Dorian mode. So, who cares, right? Well, here, watch this. If you want to take that kind of... Yep. Just move it down the Dorian scale, so... So, move it right down the scale. So listen, that actually sounds kind of cool as well. I like that. So I'm going to just do it on the D and G string. Again, working on the tempo and the articulation with this. Here we go. So you can see that it works with a regular Dorian scale too. It's the same gesture. So it's... You know, so you're getting that. You can do that right in position too. That's kind of nice. So you don't have to bother doing a lot of moving. A lot of moving is good because you learn the notes on the neck. You get phrases that you normally might not come across when you play laterally this way on the guitar. But also, if you do it across, you can find new ideas too. That's kind of nice, even if I exploited that. Let me try that. That's kind of, I like that. They can go slow too, listen. speed it up. Build the tension, you know. So those are a few of the things that you can do with these kind of patterns. And again, there's a lot of rhythmic variety here, a lot of good technical work to be had as well. And it changes really your outlook on the guitar. And I just did one pentatonic scale. You know, obviously we did the Dorian scale too, but it was just the E minor pentatonic. I mean, this can go so much further, but today I just really wanted to focus on the coordination, the basic patterns. Again, there are only 4s and 5s, and there's a couple 6s in there or something like that. But it's a good way to get 5s into your playing. Not that you're squeezing 5 notes into a beat, but what you're doing is you're doing a grouping of 5, and you're crossing, you know, you're crossing the strong and the weak beats, which is kind of nice, and it sounds good against a drummer. For me, I like that sound. I think that's really appealing. So I really appreciate you allowing me into your homes, onto your phones, etc. I give Skype instruction, and you know, one of the things that I do is work with some amazing players from across the world. So if you're interested, please let me know. Please contact me on Facebook, and also www.scottmcgillguitar.com. That's www.scottmcgillguitar.com. And it would be a pleasure to hear from you, and I hope you found this short video useful, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.